you get my apartment? What happened to you, dude? Look at your neck. Ugh. That's not strawberries. Syrup. What happened? Someone's chasing you? Well, did they follow you in here? What was that? Go check it out. Motherfucker. Stay right here. How did you get in here and get out? My therapist knows about you. What's up, everybody? Thank you for hopping in back onto this little video. As you can probably tell, we are getting spooky. It is spooky season. The name tag. It's spooky. So let me give you the rundown of what happened last week. I made a sculpture, I made a mold of that sculpture, and then I melted a whole bunch of oil pastels to make colorful oil pastel sculptures. Go check out last week's video if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty good. I will say it's pretty good. But what I didn't show last week is the fact that before I made the oil pastel molds, I actually made a whole bunch of plaster molds. Ooh, my chair. As you can see here, I tried to test out a whole bunch of different patterns with different acrylic paint, and it did not look cute. So I did this a whole bunch of times, and they all ended up looking like garbage. So I, kept on messing around, kept on wasting a whole bunch of plaster. This one was kind of cute, but I had to go out and buy some more plaster because I ran out. But for some reason, I was so determined to make this like marble effect kind of, sculpture thing. But yeah, as you can tell from especially this one, I really thought I ate. And as you can tell, especially I should have known things were going downhill from me pouring this and getting plaster literally everywhere. That once I demold this, I tried to make myself believe that this was cute. It was missing half of its nose, but you know what? I kept on going. I kept on making more, and yeah, this is as you can tell, I love them. I made a whole bunch of plaster casts that they weren't it. Most of them were covered in air bubbles and dents and scratches. They looked a mess. These plaster molds also have been staring at me for the last 6 months until I had an amazing idea. Let's paint them in honor of spooky season. So we're going to transform these bad sculptures into something amazing. These are the main 3 things that remind me of Halloween, and that is pumpkins, zombies, and Frankenstein. We're gonna do a zombie first, so now let me be quiet so you guys can enjoy. I'll talk to you guys soon. First things first, I had to protect my desk because I just got this desk and I already messed it up. But I got the nastiest looking one that was missing a whole bunch of facial features because I knew I wanted to make a zombie, get a little butt tap for some good luck. This one I tried to do a gold marble, it was failing. Anyways, for this zombie, I wanted to go more of that abstract looking zombie. Dawn of the Dead type zombie where, half the zombies look blue. That's kind of the vibe I wanted to go with. So after I got the blue base done, I was thinking maybe I want to go more of a green. So I went over that with a thin coat of green, and I slowly started to build that up into a more opaque, lighter color because I wanted all the colors to pop. It wasn't getting the nook and crannies like I thought it was, but the more layers the better, especially with acrylic paint. You gotta work thin or you'll get like plasticky bits that'll, rub off easy. So I went in, with a whole bunch of different layers. And of course it's a zombie, so you have to have a red nose, red eyes, red lips, everything's, bleeding. So I added some washes and some dry padding, doing oh my god, look at the booty. Oh, the booty. This is so satisfying. Anyways, once I added the dark bits, the whole thing started to look a little too dark and you can't really see all the details. So I went in with a lighter wash or a dry rub just to bring out more of the details. As you can see kind of like the more of the details. Am I wrong? And then I added all the dark bits, everything that was kind of. This zombie went through a lot. He got a lot of chunks taken out of him. Look at that nose. Half of his nose is gone. So I added a lot of dark to create more depth. I made it a little dirty too because we can't have a clean zombie. It's it's spooky season. It's time to get dirty. So I went in with another wash just to get more, saturation and vibrancy. I don't know. I wasn't feeling at the moment, but it created a little bit more saturation, which I wanted. Look at the booty. Sadly, for most of these, I forgot to film the eyes, but oh my gosh, I really like this, this glassy, foggy look. Oh, it looks so spooky. Now it's time for the BLOOD. So I ended up mixing a gloss varnish, acrylic gloss varnish mixed with golden fluid acrylics, and it created this really nasty, flowy effect, and it was super shiny. So at this point, I was digging it, I was liking it. However, it was too green, way too green, and it didn't look like those characters that I wanted. So I went in with the blue wash and brightened it up and made it blue, and I'm digging it. The only thing that sucked is I had to redo a lot of the drips, but it's worth the risk because it ended up popping.
Oh, you're still here. The next one's Frankenstein.
You heard it right. We're doing Frankenstein. I actually did, you could probably see the zombie in the background. I was actually doing Frankenstein and the zombie at the same time, and that's when I kind of realized, damn, they are looking a little too alike. That's why I made the zombie blue. Anyways, Frankenstein, one of my favorite characters. As you could probably tell, I drew Frankenstein a couple years ago. It was pretty lit. So after I got the base done, I did some tests. I did some scratches and I did some stapling, and it worked. So I went ahead and did a whole bunch of scratches all over the Frankenstein. Who knew you could staple plaster? It worked perfect, as you can see here in a second. It's staple time. This is my favorite part. Ooh. Just waiting to see. Pow, 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 pow. So after all that, I went in with the darker wash just to get in the nooks and crannies of it all. And boy, did this thing look spooky. And after that dried, I went in with a lighter wash, just to bring up some of the details again. I didn't know where I was going at this point. I just wanted to hurry up and get there. But it was looking good. Look at how much of that detail it brings out. Look at the booty. So I kind of used my Frankenstein drawing as a reference for this because I wanted them to kind of match low key. And I went in with the orange nose. I slowly but surely kind of, made it more and more red, but I wanted to go light washes. Remember, this is acrylic paint. You want to do light washes. A little goes a long way until you fully build up. I don't know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, I didn't film any of the irises being made, but pretty much what I did was I did the, the white part of the eye, and then I put a little bit of resin. I cured that. I painted in the iris, and I cured some resin over top of that. Also, these wounds were looking a little one-dimensional, so I went in with some orange, just a light dusting, and it really did make it pop out.
So I was gonna go to the grocery store and grab a pumpkin and do this whole little funny thing because the next one's a pumpkin. But this is all I have right now, so the next one's gonna be a pumpkin.
It's pumpkin time. So if y'all remember from the last video, this one was the mess up. This was the first mess up one that I did. So, I didn't want to waste it. This is the only one I had with like no legs and no hair, and I wasn't gonna waste it. So I did a little geometry and I made these very specific lines to this specific mold, and because I'm smart and I know math. Shut up. Anyways, took my handy dandy screwdriver and started scratching. I scratched them out. I scratched a whole bunch. I ended up making these a little too deep, a little too thick, but I wanted this pumpkin to be one of those weird pumpkins that you see. Those really small ones that you see at the grocery store? They're like, hey, go buy me. It's not the ones you eat. It's like the ones that are specifically decoration. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna let y'all watch. So the next problem I ran into is, how am I going to attach a stem? So I already made these like weird little polymer things, and I kind of cut rivets into them, making it look like stem. So I took some more polymer clay and I kind of melted it in. I tried to blend it the best I could, and who knew? You could put polymer clay on top of plaster. I didn't know. So after that was done baking, I went ahead and did like this dark brown kind of orangish wash. It's really pretty, actually. I'm gonna be quiet while y'all watch me lather this up. And of course it needs a greenish yellow stem, so I went ahead and painted a stem on it. And I kind of worked that color into the rest of the pumpkin, kind of like it's merging out. I also try to add a little bit of highlights to some areas because it was looking a little too dark. Now I was kind of on the fence about making the eyes like completely black, like it's a jack-o'-lantern, but I wish I would have done that in retrospect. I kind of made them a little too bright. But I added a nice pink lip and a rosy red nose, and I think it made it look so cute. I also added a little cheekage, any little cheeks, little baby cheeks. I had to do both sets of cheeks. They had to have a little reddish in them. And now I'm just adding just a little bit more, highlight. I kind of went overboard with the highlight because it made the lines of the pumpkin look a little too dark. But, whatever. The saturation is there. It looks like a pumpkin to me. So these were the last minute touches. I ended up making the nose glossy, the lips glossy, and then doing that resin thing with the eyes to make them look alive. Stay chill, y'all, because the reveal is coming up very soon.
You're still alive. I mean, here. Thank you for joining in this spooky video. Show you the babies. I'm gonna drop that pumpkin. Ooh. The pumpkin and the Frankenstein. I find that funny. Wow. I need to grow up. Thank you once again for joining me in this spooky video. Don't forget to please, I'm begging you, share this with your friends. It really does help the channel. And make sure you like and subscribe and click that little bell so you know when I post, because I am a little random, so you don't miss out on a spooky post. Next week is 80s horror monsters. Horror monsters. 80s. Be there or be square. Is that something they said in the 80s? I don't know. I was born in the 90s. Damn, I'm connected to that. Oh shit. Bye.